Today, I wanted to speak to you all as we wrap up this conference on what I termed being a centered woman. And my slides are very short, so I'll just run through them. For my opening thoughts, I wrote down here, I said, mastery of self is the highest form of leadership. It's the foundation of every woman who leads with grace, clarity, and strength. So as a woman, you must first of all, I went to self-mastery, but that's not where it starts from. You will discover yourself, then before you get into the mastery journey. But in order to begin to serve, lead people, mastering self is very imperative. It is the foundation of every woman who leads with grace, clarity, and strength. Every generation must define what mastery looks like in its time. For our generation, that's women in their 20s and in their 30s, mastery is not just about doing more, it's about becoming more. Because the truth is, you cannot elevate what you have not first mastered. You cannot elevate what you have not first mastered. So you must every day seek to know self, to thyself be true. When you know who you are, you begin to seek out ways to master self. It is in mastering self that you begin to do exploits. Let me introduce myself very quickly, and I highlighted seven key points I would want to share with you people so that you know me a bit closer and take it away with you. So my name is Dr. Yvonne Chioma Ofodile. I mean, the Agu in my name is what you won't find anywhere, but it's what I'm very, very proud to bear. The Agu in my name speaks deeply about my source, my essence, my roots, my pride. It's from my father. Even though it's not originally in my son's name, but I bear it with pride because I am my father's daughter. Oh, I am my father's daughter. First, I am a child of God. Let me go back to the name Agu. Agu, my mom is in the room, but I know that Agu means lion, right? You know what is synonymous to lions? Tell me. Huh? Strength, courage, bravery, fierceness. And if you know me, I received the foreword to my first book in my mail 3 days ago, and my dear mentor, described me in those words. And I really see why it's very imperative to name right. It's very imperative to name right. What you name yourself, that's indeed what you become. I have become fearless because I am from a tribe that is from a man that was fearless, that was courageous, that was kind, that was everything he needed to be till his passing. God rest his soul. First, I'm the child of God. Then I'm the third child of the family of 6. Of course, God blessed my father's soul. My mom is in the hall. Hi, mommy. My sisters are in the hall also. Where are they? Barrister Clara and Mrs. Claire Wang. Where is Barrister Claire? She's outside. I'm also the CEO of Zetil Oil and Gas Limited. What's that? Whose face? Okay. There's another one. Where is she? Okay. CEO Zetil Oil and Gas, Zetil Stores Limited, and the founder of 360 Woman Africa. I love to swim. I love to worship God. And my worship on this stage just It depends on how we move. We are building up in 10 minutes. I love to listen to audiobooks and all. I travel. I like to travel for business and personal development engagements, conferences, then take out time to rest and recalibrate. What does it mean to be centered? When they say you are centered, the center of a thing. So there's balance, right? You are there. You are not, you are standing. Gidigba, you are there. Self-mastery is the foundation of growth. So when you're talking about being centered, I said it in the beginning, you must master self. Before leadership, there must be lordship over self. It is a lordship over self that when you're hearing speakers speaking about service, excellence, that's what lordship over self means. You are given beyond yourself every time. You get a job. You are not just focused on the salary you want to put in your pocket, right? Are you all listening? You are not just listening to, you are not just interested in the salary that is going to go into your pocket, but you are ensuring that the company that is paying you is getting value for the investments they are making in you. That's what lordship over self also means. It's not always about you. FD told us today that for vision to attract provision, what must happen? For vision to attract provision, it must carry value, right? And if it must carry value, you must consistently ensure that it's beyond yourself. There must be a problem that you are solving. Every great woman first learns to master her thoughts, emotions, and spiritual reading. The loudest battles are often the quietest ones. The ones that happen in the mind, in the soul, in the secret places of self. Mastery begins when we stop performing to the world and start becoming for purpose. Let me take that again, and I need you all to listen. The loudest battles, whatever your struggles are often the quietest ones, the one your neighbor doesn't know anything about. The ones I went through planning this conference. Oh, I went through a lot to do this. You guys are cheering me on now. Oh, you don't know what to know half of what it took. The ones that happen in the mind. Listen. I'm hitting the point here. The ones that happen in the mind, in the soul, in the secret places of self. Those battles, they are often the loudest. But when you have mastered self, you recognize what they are, and you are able to move past them. Find solutions that ensures that you are not stuck. And even when you are stuck, you still don't lose yourself, because you have anchors that you are centered on. One of my anchor is Christ. My key anchor is Christ. My key anchor is Christ. I was speaking at Elevation Church yesterday, and a young lady asked, when I am overwhelmed, when things are not going right, what happens? What do I do? I said, because I'm very centered in my spirituality. My anchor is Christ. And so in the good and in the bad days, Jesus is constant. In the good and in the bad days, God is good. And because I know that He's consistently good, and I can remember, you all look for the big testimonies to know that God is good. No, for me, I look at the small things. Seemingly small things, but not actually small. A classic example is, at one of the stores recently, two things happened. NEPA, the generator decided to pack up for 24 hours, 48 hours, generator went off. And guess what? NEPA, that we had not seen for almost 7 days, gave me light for 2 days. It can't be coincidence. It is God. And that's how I know that God is always good. God is always faithful. That is my anchor. You must find yours. You must look inwards and find yours, because in the days when you will fight those battles, I will not be there. It is your anchor that will hold you up. It is your anchor that will hold you up. It's the internal beliefs that you have that you can now say that, no, I know that I wasn't created to fail. They say success is the act of continuous failing without losing your passion. Did you hear that? Success is the act of continuous, when you fail, but you're not losing enthusiasm. You continue to try. You see today happening, sincerely, if I must tell you, that is actually what it was. If I knocked on 20 doors to make this happen, maybe 3 opened. 3 doors is what made what happened today happen. But imagine if I gave up on when the 17 said no. Would you all be sitting here today? You must keep pressing. I listened to Chioma the other day, and she told us that do we know that her highest selling book, Americana, had over how many no's? Before he got the 65 no's, publishing houses, or how many, refused to publish that book before she got 1 yes. And then Americana became best-selling. So don't worry about the people that says no to you. When FD came up, he asked us the question. He said, do you recognize greatness when you see it? I know what he was talking about. It takes visionary people. It takes people with insight to recognize greatness when they see it, to smell it when they have it around them. So when they say no to you, understand that they don't have the insight. They don't have the grace to understand what you carry. So accept it with pride and keep moving. You would surely find your tribe and the people that believe in what you are set out to do. The pillars of self-mastery, I wrote here, self-mastery. Spiritual mastery is number 1. For me, my spirituality is one key note that has helped me be very centered. You cannot be hot or cold. If you are a Muslim, please be a Muslim. If you are a Christian, please serve Jesus with all your heart. Spiritual mastery. Emotional mastery, which is regulating your internal world despite external chaos. So regardless of what's happening around you, you have mastered what your emotions are, what your triggers are. There are some people, like I worked in a place when I'm still in the process of development, but the stages have moved. In the beginning, I had worked somewhere where a guy apparently knew my triggers. He knew that if you do this to Yvonne, she will be angry. And I realized that he kept triggering me. Till one day, one of my very beloved brother said to me, Yvonne, didn't you notice that these people know that this thing gets you angry? That's why they keep doing it. They know that once they gather like that and start gossiping, and they say you will be irritated. So you must master self. You must know what triggers you. Then you must find ways to ensure that you are in charge, you are in control. Strategic mastery, building discipline and clarity around your goals. The speakers have done amazingly about this topic. So spiritual mastery, emotional mastery, strategic mastery. Spiritual mastery, knowing who you are and whose you are. Knowing who you are and whose you are. You must know. That is what leads you in life. That's what builds you. My transformation started in church when I gave my life to Christ in 100 level. That's how I started knowing who I was, and then whose I was, knowing that I am God's. And so I started to build from there. Emotional mastery, I started to master my thoughts, my emotions, then strategic mastery. Discipline, sustaining focus when motivation fades. I spoke about it earlier. Discipline is what bets this event, regardless of when motivation was low. Sometimes you don't even have friends around you to cheer you on, but your vision must continue to drive you, right? Spiritual mastery roots before your rise. You can't sustain what God, you can't sustain what God didn't plant. I'm taking it back to the spiritual part because a lot about me is deeply spiritual. I'll give you a quick story. then I wrap this up. Why I'm closing this conference on the spiritual conversation note. Recently, 2 weeks ago, we were trying to recruit a role in one of my stores. And we have tried for almost 2-3 weeks. And the supervisors, the managers, they were already hounding, they needed that role. So there's a process where the supervisors and managers assess the people, the low-level staff. So this girl had come for assessment, and then, please, can you all sit down till I'm done, please? You need to sit till I'm done. We'll be done in 10 minutes. So they were reviewing and assessing. This girl had come, and they had interviewed, the supervisor had interviewed her, the manager had spoken to her, and he just gave a report in the mail that I happened to see at the time. Usually, I actually don't interfere in that level of conversation. But as I saw it, and I also knew I was going to pass that place in 10 minutes because I needed to pick up a document, I immediately sent a message. My spirit told me to tell them to wait, to the lady to wait, because we were done with her. He just gave a report, so he was done, she needed to leave and all of that. So I told them to tell her to wait. I just wanted to see her. When I got into that store, when I entered the store, she was backing, I didn't see her face. She was backing me, so I entered and went into the office. When I was done with what I was doing, I told them to, okay, call her in so that I just see her. When they called her in, I was on my table and I was still working on the laptop when she came. You know how someone enters your office and just stands? So she stood by the door. I didn't raise up my head when she entered because I expected her to come and sit. She just stood there for like about 1 minute. Then I raised up my head to say, oh, come and sit down. The moment I raised up my head and looked at this young lady, I heard clearly in my spirit, she's a snake. And in my head, I was like, it was so loud. I tried to put my head down, I smiled. I'm like, which one is this one again? Babe, whose voice? I heard it the second time. But sincerely, it was the first of its kind. But God was working, and he's always working. So I raised up my head and said, because I was also very focused on talking to the ladies so that they can move on what they are doing, and then they've needed that role for long. For 2-3 weeks. So I told her, come and sit down. By the time she sat down, I said, please introduce yourself. Usually when I get CVs, I look at their name, all of that before going. But that CV, I just went straight to the job history and all of that. I was there still looking at the job history. I told her, please introduce yourself. She spoke very low. I couldn't hear what she was saying. Then I said, oh, I can't hear you. Please, can you speak out? She then did the same thing. And also, I needed to leave. So I needed to wrap it up. So I raised myself, please, can you raise you? In fact, I told her to draw close. I said, draw close, I can't hear you. She drew closer. She drew her chair closer to the table and then said, my name is so and so. So she has a first name, second name. Then her son name is Ezenweke. The moment I heard that, oh, my Father, my God. The moment I heard that name, I had goosebumps and I said, God, you have such a huge sense of humor. I said, so that conversation was happening, and I'm like, is this what you were trying to tell me? Ezenweke in Igbo means the king. The daughter of the king of snakes. That's that Sunday. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I still had to hold myself. Nothing is happening. You came to my territory. You are not moving. Whatever brought you will take you back. So, I asked her 2 more questions. And I told her, okay, the supervisors will speak, and then she left the office. When she left the office, I was still there. I was just still in awe of God and how much God loved me. and how much God loved me. Then this professor came in to tell me something. I said, as she left, he said, let him, because the manager was speaking to her, I said, let him check. He peeped at the other office and said, yes, she has left. But I felt when she left, I was on the seat, I was in that seat inside the office, but I felt the force move out of the door. And so that is why you can't do life without being spiritual. That you are a human being, you are a spirit. You are a spirit. So if you say you don't understand what I'm saying to you that you might be a human being in flesh, but what really keeps you alive is your spirit. What keeps you, what makes you who you are? Take away your spirit, you are no longer a human being. So you must invest in connecting to your spiritual base, right? So that you don't miss the benefits of all of this side, the benefits of the Holy Spirit telling you that one, no go area. They would have just started experiencing low sales. Meanwhile, the role she came for is cashier role. She wanted to sit down at the center of the cash. As they are coming, they'll be swallowing it. Oh, Jesus loves me. So I wrote down 4 R's, the paths to centered living. The first is reconnect. Build a reading of prayer, however you pray. Be it a Muslim, be it a Christian, pray, meditate, silence. Mrs. Pell in the beginning told us about stillness, journaling. You must practice those things. This is 360 Woman Africa. It is all round. You come, you will be fed. Your career, your personal life, you will be fed. Your soul, you got it. Reassess. So, number 1 is what? Number 2, reassess. Define what success means to you. For the young ones in their 20s and in their late 20s, in their early 30s also, don't be swayed by the things we are seeing today. Don't be swayed by it. Define what your success is. Define what your life is about and let that lead you, regardless of what is happening. Regardless of what is happening. You want to follow the crowd, they are doing, you do. That's not, you need to know what you were created to do. Align with God on it. And that would then lead to success. Define what success means to you. The third is realign. Let your daily actions reflect your deepest value. Let your daily actions reflect your deepest value. FD told us about, he finished values, what values can do. There was a day, one of our sales executives at Zetil Oil came and said he wanted to go and supply diesel to one celebrity. Yes. And I happened to see the request for quotation again that day. And this person, myself, my values, Zetil's value, and the values, and that person is like this. Yes, we sell to everybody. I did not sell diesel to the person. Because we don't share the same value. That's the kind of person you get to that they can burn your truck if small arguments. Do you understand me? So I don't know every of our customers, but the one I saw, my spirit was just not settled with going to do that supply. I told them no. You're not doing this supply. It's just like you're working somewhere, everybody they take bribe. You say, why? Why won't you take bribe? It's just your value system. Is it that you take bribery and corruption? You can't do because your value systems must continuously lead you. I am hugely driven by whatever I find me doing, know that it's what I believe in. What my businesses, I'm growing them innately with our value system in mind. So realign. So the first one is reconnect, realign. Let your daily actions reflect your deepest values. Release. Learn to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Relationships, whatever it is, that no longer serve the you in this season. Let it go. So that you can receive more also. Every season of your life has a meaning. Whatever season you find yourself in today, bask in it. There is a meaning. When I was in university, sincerely, because I didn't like my course, I really wanted to leave the place on time. But in retrospect, I wish I didn't actually rush out of school. You're in school now, bask in it. I don't know if there are undergraduates in the room. Bask in it. Enjoy it. Do well in school, because once you leave, it's the world. Enjoy your seasons. Self-mastery allows you to interpret seasons correctly. Your goal is not perfect. The goal is not perfection, it's alignment. We are not seeking to be perfect. We just want to be aligned with purpose and our life's trajectory. As women in our 20s and in our 30s, we must not conform to movements. We must not confuse movement for progress. It's not everybody that is moving that is progressing. Have a personal growth system. Schedule your priorities. Make the important things count. Consistency will do what motivation cannot do. Consistency will do what motivation cannot do. You see us today, full room. We have meetings where we've had just the 2 rows. We've had meetings where we've had 20 people. Yes, like our speakers have told you, it can be demoralizing. But because your vision is driving you, continue to continue on the job that has been handed over to you. And eventually, God blesses it. The centered woman in leadership leads with clarity, not chaos. Elevates others without losing herself. Support your sisters, support your friends. Her presence brings balance to teams, families, and community. Ensure you are in the right community. Ensure you have the right friends, the friends that are gassing you up, the friends that are encouraging you, not the ones that are always sucking you. Don't look for people that you all can empower each other, support each other together. You must look for people that support you and that you also support. The right communities. As I conclude, I would like to make these calls to reflections as you go home. As you go home, think about what keeps me from being centered. What are the things that keeps me from being centered? Write them down and begin to address them. Address them from a place of self-awareness and the conversations around self-mastery. What must I let go to grow? What are the things I must let go to grow? Bad friendships, bad choices, lack of excellence, doing jobs shabbily with the wrong mentality. They employ you at work. You are part of the people that say, 5 o'clock. When you even see your colleagues staying till 7, you say, it be like say they won't pay you extra salary. You know. What must I let go to grow? What spiritual practices keeps me grounded? Is it meditation? Is it worshiping? Oh, I love worshiping. Worshiping keeps me grounded. In my car, I'm worshiping. In my room, I'm worshiping. Everywhere in the office, I'm worshiping. In closing, a centered woman is not the loudest in the room. Don't seek to be the loudest as you go home. She's the most grounded. She knows herself. She's aware of who she is. And she's basking in it. When they need to hear her voice, she speaks with clarity and purpose. She's sound when they hear her speak. When you show up strong. She's not the loudest. Don't seek to be the loudest. Make noise makers. every question you want to shout, talk without thinking. You know, no. You must be grounded. You are the seed, the soil, and the sunlight all in one. Master self. Master yourself, and you will master your world. Master yourself, and you will master your world. Thank you very much, everyone.